There's a great piece by Lee On Ho. He's the founder and CEO of Lifehack. 14 powerful leadership traits that all great leaders have. Like being a leader of a company or organization is certainly a difficult and often frustrating position, but it can also be tremendously rewarding. Whether you're just starting out as a leader or have been leading for a while, you'll be sure to benefit from knowing the essential traits that all great leaders possess. Effective and successful leaders transcend the title of manager or boss. They found a way to achieve the perfect combination of charisma, enthusiasm, and self-assurance, with a healthy dose of luck and timing probably added to the mix. It may seem like people are gifted with leadership skills, but the truth is most leadership traits can be learned and adopted and strengthened with time and practice. As we delve into the list of traits of effective leaders, you will learn the behaviors and attitudes of a good leader. And one of the things I want to recommend is my good friend John Maxwell. John has written, he's a prolific writer on leadership. I don't even know the number of books he's written so far. I thought probably 30 to 50 in range, a lot, but so many phenomenal books, especially if you're just starting out in leadership. He's written 2 books, Developing the Leader Within You, and then the second book is Developing the Leaders Around You. I would say that those are the 2 really great books to start with if you're just starting on your leadership trek. They're really fantastic, and then you read all the rest of the stuff he's done. He's got great stuff, and there's other great writers as well. But he's very easy to read, really great stuff, and I think he can make a difference for you. So here's the 14 most important leadership traits. Take note of the traits that you excel at, and then which ones you need to work at to improve in. Okay? Number 1, vision and mission. Having a clear picture of what needs to be achieved is a crucial quality of good leadership. The vision is often communicated with a mission statement such as this from Starbucks. Starbucks' purpose is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, in one neighborhood at a time. Come up with your own version of what your purpose is, of what you're trying to do with your life, with your business, where you're headed. Have a vision for your life and a mission for your life. So how do you develop vision? Spend time pinpointing what you need to achieve and then plan the steps to get there. But here's a guide on that. Number 2, they're self-motivated. This is a big thing. One of the things that helped me to really explode my business is to stop trying to motivate people and to work harder at finding motivated people and working with those people, because motivating people, my experience, doesn't work very well. Sometimes you can get people going for a little while, but really when you find self-motivated people and you have the skills and the knowledge to be able to train and teach them, man, your business will explode. And it took me about 3 years to figure that out in my business. And when I finally decided, okay, I'm just going to work with motivated people, I started recruiting motivated people, asking them right up, are you motivated? Do you really want to be successful? If I can show you how to double or triple your income, will you listen to me? You will follow my advice? Will you do what I asked you to do? Or you follow my example as well? I'd ask people straight up, and if they're motivated, man, I worked like crazy with. If they weren't, then I was just nice to them and made them a client and moved on. But when I started doing that, my business and my income just exploded right after that. Because like my first year in my business, I made $18,000 part-time. Then I made $35,000 my second year. Then I made $86,000. That $86,000 years when I finally figured out to only work with motivated people. Then the next year, my income jumped to $409,000. Then it jumped to $855,000 in my 5th year, and then up and up and up from there. But the real big difference in my business career was when I really started focusing my energy and pouring my life and my knowledge and my skill set into motivated people. So, number 2, great leaders are self-motivated. It's no coincidence that successful leaders have an abundance of self-motivation. Without a decent level of self-motivation, you'll struggle to become a strong and respected leader. However, if you don't have a lot of self-motivation right now, don't despair. One of the secrets is to have definite, crystal clear goals to keep you motivated at all the times. Some people also choose to reward themselves every time they achieve a goal, and this is certainly a good way to keep yourself enthused and motivated. Learn how to set an ambitious yet achievable goal. Number 3, optimism and positivity. These are very important traits of great leaders. Positive energy is contagious. Great leaders are overflowing with this type of energy. Not only does a positive mindset make leaders easy to work with, but it also gives them a constant source of inspiration and ideas. Tap into this energy by aligning yourself with positive people and positive goals. You know, one of the things that you're going to find is that positive attracts and negative repels. So if you're in the attraction business, you want people to come onto your team and help you grow, you have to be optimistic. You have to be positive. You have to be looking at the silver lining in every single issue, right? With every adversity, there's an equal or greater benefit if you're looking for it, and you have to be looking. Great leaders are always looking for that. Number 4, emotional stability. In leadership positions, frustration and stress are daily occurrences. This is why leaders need to have a strong and stable emotions and high, emotional intelligence. They can't allow themselves to be easily knocked off track. If you're prone to losing your emotional stability when stressed or frustrated, try some of these techniques. Breathe deeply and slowly for 30 seconds. Go for a walk. Drink some water instead of tea or coffee. Turn your focus onto something that you can resolve. Find out more ways to figure out how to get your stability. I think reading Emotional Intelligence, that book, or if you can get it on Audible, that is really important, because one of the things that all great, highly successful people have, they have a very high emotional intelligence quotient, and that's what you need to develop. So it's called Emotional Intelligence. There's a bunch of books written on it. There's no shortage of information on how to develop that emotional stability. Number 5, self-confidence. Watch a presentation by any CEO, and you'll see that even if they're not natural presenters, they make up for this by having powerful self-confidence. It's not just CEOs who have self-confidence. Any successful leader will have this trait in abundance. One reason for this is that only a confident person can persuade others and gain their respect. Worry that you have low self-confidence? Try faking it. Psychologists often recommend that if you act at being confident, you'll start to look, sound, and feel like you're confident. And in time, you'll learn more about. But, one of the things that I think, to me, the way that you grow your self-confidence, well, my experience personally for me and what I've seen, I've helped lots of people become successful in business over the years. And the one thing that I am certain will grow your self-confidence is having a personal development plan, where you are fanatical about growing your skill set that you need in your particular business and growing your knowledge base. And the better your skill sets get, the more your knowledge grows, you will naturally develop a higher level of self-confidence, and then people will be much more attracted to you. Not to mention, you're going to be able to offer much value, because it's the value that you offer people that's going to induce them and incent them to want to be involved in business with you. Number 6, decisiveness. Leaders are frequently called upon to make decisions. Some leaders may have to make dozens of decisions every day. In fact, you could say that making decisions is one of the key things that a leader must do. Spend time observing highly successful leaders, and you'll see that they are quick to make decisions. They also enjoy making decisions rather than stressing out like many non-leaders do when they're asked to decide on something. Put yourself in the leadership bracket by developing your decision-making skills. Start with small decisions, then work your way up to bigger and more difficult decisions. Once other people notice your decision-making prowess, they'll automatically see you as leadership material. So, you just got to decide. You're going to make mistakes. Being decisive is critical. Every really successful person is very decisive. Okay, it's hard to become successful and not be decisive. And what you can do is you can do that in every little thing, instead of going, oh, I don't know, let me ask somebody. You're always worried about, just use your intuition. Your intuition is going to tell you if something makes sense or not. And you will make mistakes, no question about it. But then just make another decisive decision and move on to something else. Don't worry about making mistakes. You will make them. They're absolutely going to happen. But being decisive is critical to being successful. Passion and enthusiasm. Expressive, active, energetic. These are words that best describe a passionate leader. Great leaders are lively, driven, and are possessed with zeal and purpose. And it's the passion that helps them achieve big results. It's also what gets people to follow you. If you want to emulate their success, you need to develop passion and enthusiasm for the work at hand and the end goals. Take a look one way to do this is find what motivates you and keep your focus firmly on that. For example, if you're motivated by helping others, then make sure your role and company are both suited to realizing this. If you're motivated by money, then put your focus on achieving bonuses and pay raises. But you need to be passionate, right? But what employees need is they need to be respected. They need to learn and grow. They need to be an insider. They need to do meaningful work, and they need to be on a winning team. And one of the things that passion leads to is winning. Everybody that's super successful is passionate about what they're trying to do. I know for me, when I first started, I was fanatical about sharing what we did and what a difference we can make in people's lives. With people, everybody I met, everywhere I went, I was prospecting everywhere I went. Every person I ran into, I turned into a prospecting opportunity. And most people said no, but some people said yes. And today I have over 14,000 agents and growing. We're recruiting, 3,000 people a year and plus now. So it starts with you, though. You need to see that happening in your life and be passionate about what you're doing. If it's making a difference for people, you need to be excited about sharing what that is with people. Number 8, accountability and responsibility. Exceptional leaders know that at all times they need to take responsibility for tasks and their results. This includes things like individual and team performance, as well as being accountable for when things go wrong. When negative things occur, and you can guarantee they will from time to time, a great leader will immediately step in and take responsibility. Initially, they'll try to solve the problem as quick and as smoothly as possible. But if this isn't feasible, they're going to be sure to say that the buck stops with them, and they take responsibility for what has happened. So if you're in a slump, you got to take responsibility for it, and you got to do the work, get going, and get focused on turning things around. Doing the work necessary to make that thing turn around, whatever that happens to be, even if it makes you terribly uncomfortable, you still have to do it, okay? To develop your leadership skills, you must never shy away from responsibility and accountability. If you prefer to sweep mistakes under the carpet, then you're demonstrating non-leadership traits. Try owning up to issues and finding solutions to them. By doing this, you'll immediately gain people's respect. Number 9, focus. This is a huge one. I see people, they start having a little success, things are going good, and then something happens and they get disfocused. Things not only stop moving forward, they actually go backwards, and then they have to start all over again, and it's like an uphill battle every time they're doing it. If you just can develop the characteristic of staying focused regardless of what's happening, keep doing the right things, that's what's going to move you to the next level and the next level and the next level. Your ability to stay focused is a huge component to your success. You have to learn how to do that. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have things that want to distract you and get you disfocused. Don't allow it to happen. Keep doing those fundamental things that you know you need to do to move your business. So distractions are everywhere. It takes major focus to stay committed to tasks and goals. The best leaders understand this, and therefore they're always looking at ways to boost their team's focus. One way leaders do this is to keep their team intensely focused on the bigger picture. This might entail allocating specific time for tasks and eliminating any non-essential work, focusing on the things that get results, in other words. If you're easily knocked off track, you'll need to spend some time boosting your focus. Try planning a day, I think one of the things that allowed me to stay focused is I would never go to bed. I say this all the time, so if you listen to this podcast, you hear me say this a lot. But it was such a huge component to the success I've had, is I would never go to bed without pre-planning every hour of the following day. I knew exactly who I was going to call, what meetings I was going to have, if I had to work on, like preparing for a meeting, an appointment, or preparing for a meeting that I was going to have or anything. I had every hour planned out. Even in some of those hours were time with family, picking up my kids at school and taking them to the park and that sort of thing, So but every hour is planned out so that I wouldn't miss a beat. I could get up in the morning. I had a plan. I could just attack the plan. I didn't have to think of what should I do today or when should I get started. I knew exactly what I was doing. This is one of the most critical components of to the success that I've had in my business life and in my personal life too. I tell you, is one of the things you must learn how to do. So don't get knocked off track. Stay focused. Number 10, ever learning. Leaders know that to be successful, they need to continue to update their skills and knowledge. They deliberately learn all they can about their profession and industry so they can make confident and assured decisions. And also, one of the reasons why this ever learning is so important, and I've read over 1,500 books on personal development. I've attended countless seminars. I've invested probably $150,000 or more in personal development over the years. I'm constantly reading. If you follow me on Twitter, @Hector Lamarque, I'm sharing every day the things that I'm reading, concepts and ideas and advice on how to be more successful and how to think like a winner. I'm always doing that because I always want to stay on the cutting edge. I want to be able to offer more and more value to the people that I'm working with and trying to help become successful. And I think it's one of the things that's super important that you just never stop learning. Turn your car into a university of success. If you're in your car, stop listening to the radio. Music, I know I love music just like anybody else. I love going to concerts. I love music, but I don't get paid to listen to music. Music is not going to move unless I was a professional musician or a singer or something like that. But music isn't going to pay my way or allow me to create the dreams of my life. But personal development is. It's going to grow my skill sets, grow my knowledge, grow my awareness level, which is going to allow me to attract more of the right things into my life. And so I turned my car into a university of success. I always had some sort of audio program going on that I was learning something, whether it was sales or time management or people skills or leadership or whatever, but something that could help me grow. You need to turn your car into that. Stop watching TV, the boob tube. Read a good book, or if you're going to watch something, watch videos. There's all kinds of YouTube videos on success, on something having to do with what you're doing. I'm sure you could find that. Watch those. Learn more. Get more aware. And if you do that, amazing things will begin to happen for you, okay? Traits for effective communication, empathy. This is one of the things that's important from a leadership standpoint, folks. Empathy. The best leaders understand the feeling of their team members, customers, associates. They know when to praise and when to discuss problems, in private, by the way. Without empathy, leaders will be seen as cold, harsh, and lacking understanding. They're also likely to be regarded as untrustworthy. One way to put yourself in someone else's shoes is to have a regular and formal discussions with your colleagues. When you do this, you'll quickly learn their fears and desires, and when you understand why they have these, you'll be in a position to express empathy. You can also learn to be more sensitive to others by working on your communication skills. Number 12, persuasive and influential. Communication are at the heart of all transactions, whether it's pitching for a sale or resolving a customer complaint or recruiting somebody, or how you communicate will determine the outcome. Charismatic leaders such as Richard Branson from Virgin or Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, are confident and persuasive communicators. They know how to win over audiences and leave a lasting impression in people's minds. There's some common barriers that you'll have to overcome in order to communicate effectively. You have to learn how to learn effective communication. You could join the world-renowned U.S. nonprofit Toastmasters International. There's tons of books you could read on that. There's audio programs on that. One of the things that I think becoming persuasive is really working on your sales skills. One of the things that helped me more than any single thing was I listened to Tom Hopkins, How to Master the Art of Selling Anything, 2 or 3 hours a day for 3 straight years, and my communication skills went through the roof. My ability to get people to buy into the ideas I had, or buy into the products or services I offered, or buy into the opportunity I was offering, it changed dramatically, and it made it really fun and really easy for me. You need to do that. Do something like that. Okay. Traits for ensuring an engagement team building. If you put a bunch of random people together, you may have a loose definition of a team. In reality, a real team has purpose, drive, and a leader lighting the way. So that's you, leading from the front, being a personal example of what you want them to do. If you've worked in different teams with different managers, you'll no doubt have come to this conclusion. Managers who treat their team members like children are unpopular with the team. Conversely, managers who treat their team members like adults are respected and well-liked by the team. The days of disciplinarian managers have passed. Nowadays, a successful team leaders know how to inspire and motivate their team while keeping a harmonious atmosphere between all team members. And it's really just leading from the front and then teaching how to do the things that are going to allow them to be successful. Clearly, crystal clearly. The better you get at teaching people the skill sets and the knowledge they need for them to have individual success is huge towards building team. And you have contests that are team building contests, right? And you have a goal, like, again, and depending on what business you're in, with your team, you should have some entity or somebody or some other team that you're competing with too, and that you all rally around to beat that team. Just like in sports, it's like a sport. I mean, if you're on a football team, baseball team, basketball team, or any kind of team, right? Soccer team, your team has a common goal, right? To defeat those people or to become number one. Well, that's what you need to do as well. And then 14, fostering creativity. Solutions to problems are rarely black and white. Often it takes a leader who can think outside the box to come up with answers. In other words, a leader must be creative and also help to foster creativity and innovation throughout the team. Creativity is not only associated with pursuits such as arts, literature, and music. Running a team can be just as creative, no question about that. There will be times every day when you need to come with ideas, give guidelines for your team to come up with to solve problems. You got to be creative in how you teach, creative in how you perform.